All right, so I hope everyone's doing well. I wanted to give you guys a quick update on the Mitten 3 and the YouTube teams that we've drafted together. This weekend it's the divisional round, so we'll jump into the playoff bracket real quick. I'm sure you guys are all aware of the games that are happening this weekend. So we have the Broncos, the Bills, the Patriots, Texans, the Seahawks, and the 49ers, and then we also have the Bears and the Rams. So, of course, wild card weekend has already been played, so a lot of teams have already been dropping like flies. So I wanted to show you guys some of the teams that I've had advance. I have 21 teams that have advanced so far, still in play for that $500,000 prize rewards, I should say. Let's touch on this real quick. So first place is $50,000. So we're still in play for a lot of these cash prizes for right now. Um, I'm going to get into this later on in the video, kind of walking you through what I'm anticipating to survive this round and what's probably most likely going to not make it. So we had a lot of teams that did not make it from that initial first round. We just had some unique roster constructions and that sort of thing. So I was trying to create a variety of situations where certain teams could advance and certain teams, I kind of expected some teams to not really have a shot at this. Okay, so let's jump into some of the teams. I'm not going to show you all 21 teams, but I'll show you a few to kind of give you an idea of like what's going on and that sort of thing. So jumping into our YouTube team. So if you guys have been following along, we drafted three YouTube teams together. Only one of them has made it to the second round. The first draft was kind of a bust right out of the gate. I knew that it was in trouble. The second team was slightly better, just didn't have the firepower to survive that first round. And then YouTube Team 3 is this team right here. It survived that first round, but I do wonder if it will survive this divisional round. So to give you a recap, we had Trevor Lawrence, CJ Stroud, Tyron Williams, Corum, Tootin, Puka, Nico Collins, Brian Thomas, Colby Parkinson, and Brenton Strange. So, as you guys can probably figure out, most of this team's already dead at this point. So, Trevor Lawrence is gone. Tootin's gone. That's two. Brian Thomas is three. And then Strange is four. So now I only have six players to provide me with points. And of course, CJ Stroud's my quarterback. Hopefully, he has a better game this weekend. The issue here with the running backs is now I'm relying on Kyron Williams and Blake Corum. It's not a bad situation to have if Tootin's still alive. Of course, he's a backup. So the issue with this is both running backs are on the same team. So one running back's probably going to get the majority a touchdown. They're probably both not going to hit. Now I know they split carries, so you just never know. But hey, you just never know. I know that Kyron usually gets 13, 14, 15, and then Blake Corum has his moments as well throughout the game. You just never know who gets a touchdown, whoever gets the yards, whoever gets hot. So, of course, we have Puka, and then we have Nico Collins, and then we have Parkinson. Everybody else is not playing. So here's the issue with this team. So last weekend, if you guys watched the Texans game, I know it wasn't that great of a game, but Nico Collins ended up getting a concussion midway through the second half, I believe. So he's not going to play this weekend. So now I'm really relying on Nakua and Parkinson to be my wide receivers. Um, it's a tough situation for this team. So really, I'm going to have to hope that Houston plays well with CJ Stroud, puts up a good quarterback score, and then Kyron Williams, Blake Corum does well, Puka does well, and then Parkinson does well. So I mean, that's basically, I just think that's too many mouths to feed on one team. So I'm going to be surprised if this team does well. And as a reminder, to make it through the second round, I probably should have touched on this first. So the first round was two best scores out of your six-man pod will make it to that next round, which is this right here. So I'm competing against 9 other teams really to survive this round. Round three is another 10 teams, and then there's that 375 seat final. So I would be surprised if I have the firepower to survive this round. I'm just going to show you another team as an example. I don't know what he actually has. I mean, he kind of did something similar. So, but he has Stafford, Kyron Williams, Corum. He has Woody Marks. He has Nakua. Then he has a couple Jags, and then Higby and Pat Bryant. So, I mean, he has a couple more players. I'll just pick another one. Bo Nix, Caleb Williams, Henderson, Stevenson, Swift, Devontae Adams, Nakua, Rome, DJ Moore. So I mean, he just has a lot more players to work with. So again, I'm just gonna be surprised if I have any juice out of this team. So I'm gonna take another team here. I just want to show you an example of a team that did advance but has no shot at winning. So I scored really well based off of these teams last weekend, but of course they all got eliminated. So Trevor Lawrence is gone. Love is gone. Travis Etienne is, I think everybody's gone. Travis Etienne, Josh Jacobs, Washington, Thomas, Reed, and Dobbs are all gone. So there's just no way this team's going to make it. But I do have Kenneth Walker and JSN. So, I mean, hey, at least those two players survive. I think those players only survive just because they're owned by. So that team has really no shot of winning. But I just want to show you guys an example of a losing team this week. And I'm sure you're going to see a lot of dead teams like that. So it's just part of the game. Sometimes the good scores come from the losing teams, and they come out the shootouts, and they just they just don't make it. So I'm going to show you a couple more real quick, and then we'll kind of talk about some other stuff. But I mean, the game's started in a couple of hours, so I'm excited to see how this plays out. So this is a team that I think could have potential. Stafford, Henderson, Corum, Stevenson, Puka, Henry, Higby, Pearsall, Odunze, and then Parkinson. So I still have a lot of juice on this team. Everyone's still alive. So it just depends on how this thing plays out. I really like this setup that I did here. It'd be nice to have another Rams receiver, but hey, it's okay. This is another team. I actually really like this matchup a lot nowadays. Oh, shoot, that's not it. That's not it. Okay, this is not a terrible matchup, but I didn't get all the essential pieces I needed. But this is basically saying I wanted Rams and the Texans to make the Super Bowl. So I have CJ Stroud, Caleb Williams, Corum, Marks, Charbonnet, Nakua, Adams, Nico Collins, Higgins, and Noel. So my hope is that Nico comes back next week, but these two guys pick up the pace. I drafted Jalen Noel before Christian Kirk really took off last weekend, so that that kind of stinks. That I may have picked the wrong guy, but we'll see how it plays out. I think that he had pretty. Yeah, I mean, he had two touchdowns in the regular season. I mean, he had his moments, and I think that Higgins will have a big role this week. I hope, but for this team's sake. But I mean, he had six touchdowns this season. I mean, on 68 targets. It's like, yeah, it is moments. So we'll see how this team plays out. I like this team a lot. It'd be really nice if I had Stafford or Tyron, but anyway, it looks like I missed out. I would have gotten him if I had a chance. Another team I really like here is Caleb Williams, Sam Darnold, Kenneth Walker, Woody Marks, DeAndre Swift, JSN, Nico, Shaheed, Loveland, and Higgins. So it's not my favorite build, but I'm kind of curious why I went Caleb Williams. I must have just been desperate and needed a quarterback. And then I was like, screw it, I'll just get a couple Bears players on top. I think the idea, I mean, I think the idea was going Seahawks and Texans again. I think the Texans actually have a shot today. I mean, you never know, man. You never know. I think that game could go either way. I mean, that spread was 3 points. I mean, it could go either way, in my opinion. I'm gonna show you two more teams, and then we're gonna get on with it. So this one is the Bills and Bears team that I had here. So Josh Allen, of course, James Cook, Caleb Williams, DeAndre Swift, Shakir Kincaid, Loveland, Odunze, and then Coleman, and then DJ Moore. So if Chicago can win this weekend and the Bills win this weekend, this is going to be a really nice team. I think Josh Allen and James Cook will have their moments, and Caleb Williams should play well as well. So that's a team that I'm kind of thinking could have a shot. And then here we go on the Rams and Patriots. Basically, just going the other. Yeah, the Rams and Patriots. So we have Matthew Stafford, Henderson, Corum, Stevenson. I've already touched on this team. If I did, I apologize. So I think that's pretty much it. As far as the teams go. Hopefully I get a team to get punched through, and that's the third round, but I'm going to be surprised. I think I'm going up against some steep competition. I mean, we can pick on some random teams here. I mean, you get the idea. See, like, I mean, he's got a lot of players. I mean, we'll just see how it shapes out. But anyway, you'll see the probabilities here on this site, playoffstatus.com. But anyway, Broncos are favored over the Bills. Patriots are favored over the Texans. I think that's going to be close, though. I think it could go either way. Seahawks over the 49ers, and then the Bears and Rams. See, that's close too. I, I'm leaning Rams on that one, but I mean, you just never know. And then here are the probabilities again. I don't know if these have changed throughout the week or not, but I'm just going to show these real quick. So these are basically saying the teams expected to be the Super Bowl winner, teams expected to make the Super Bowl, teams expected to make it a conference championship. So Seahawks, Broncos, Patriots, then the Rams, and then let's see, 43% on the Texans. But then down here, which is kind of interesting, the Bears have a 46% chance of making it to the Super Bowl. Now, some of you are not going to like this, but I'm going to tell it to you anyway. The Bills have a 38% chance of making it to the conference championship, a 15% chance of making it to the Super Bowl, and then a 7% chance of winning the whole damn thing. So keep that in mind. This is another site. This is another resource called BBMDB. Some of the other content creators have done a really good job of showing what this site's all about. So you come in here, you select your tournament if you have teams, and then you put your username and so on. You can put on players and whatnot. So based on those 21 teams that I had, it's saying that about three teams will advance, which is 14.3%. And that's the expected, about 2.3 teams. So that's kind of telling me how this is probably going to shape up. And it thinks that these three teams is this is how I'm reading it. It thinks these three teams in gold or yellow, depending on your screen colors, are going to be the teams that survive. So this team right here, let's run through it real quick. Let's not worry about this guy real quick. Only has two players alive. So this is the team that has Caleb Williams, Sam Darnold, KW9, Marks, Swift, JSN, Nico. I say I really need Nico this week, man. But anyway, so I'm gonna have to survive this week somehow. Colson Loveland, Shaheed, and Higgins. So that's a pretty sick lineup, in my opinion. That's pretty sick. So hopefully that team survives. This team is going to come in third place, apparently. And it must be I may just not have enough firepower at the wide receiver room. I have four running backs. That's the issue. That's probably the problem. Oh man, that's a rookie move. I can't believe I picked four running backs there. So, and then let's go through these two real quick. Williams, Darnold, Cook, Swift, Devontae Adams. Oh man, I don't know if I like this team that much, but saying I have a shot, so I guess I better like it. And then this team has Stroud, Williams, Corum, Marks, Charbonnet, Nakua, Adams, Nico, Higgins, and Jalen Noel. So I must have missed out on Stafford. That's probably what happened there. So anyway, that's where we're at this point in time. We'll see how the games go today. But this is another resource I like to use called fantasypros.com. Kind of thinking that Christian McCaffrey is going to be RB1 this week, and then James Cook will be the RB2. Let's see, Kyron will be three, RJ Harvey will be four, Swift will be five, and then KW9 will be six. Ramadre will be seven, so we'll see how that shakes out. But of course, Nakua, JSN, and Devontae Adams are your top three receivers. Then Loveland is tight end one. He's before Cortland Sutton at wide receiver four. So, and then Jennings is going to be wide receiver five apparently. So that'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. I used this side a lot during the regular season. It was a hit or miss, honestly. Um, Quarterbacks, real quick. Matthew Stafford is ahead of Josh Allen. So hey, we'll see how that plays out. I think it's probably the defense. It's probably not Josh Allen. It's probably the Broncos defense. Is probably going to give them more trouble. Maybe that's what's going on there. But anyway, that's a quick recap of a quick preview of the divisional round that we have going on, and I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions as far as what I should have done drafted differently or some drafts I should take on, please let me know. Thank you.